everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making a sweat jacket out of this beautiful blanket. I'm excited to see how it turns out. Keep watching if you're interested, and let's get into it. Okay, so we're gonna get started on this sweater jacket. And I have everything laid down here on the ground next to me, and it's kind of a small blanket, so we're not gonna have a lot of wiggle room. If I mess up, then I'm probably just gonna have to do a different project, but I'm hoping it turns out because I think I love the fabric of the blanket. I think it's super cute. So let's see how it goes. I have a sweat jacket. That's my husband's sweat jacket. I like it. I want the sweat jacket to be a little oversized. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna show you guys how I have it laid out, and it looks like it's gonna be a little tight. So let's hope that we have enough fabric for this in the first place. But I guess we'll find out as we go. So let's go. I'm gonna be using my husband's sweat jacket to kind of make a pattern for this project, just to get an idea of how large I want it and the different pieces that I'm going to need to sew together. So I'm going to show you a little bit better of an angle, how I'm going to do that, and I guess it's going to be where we kind of see how much material we're going to be able to have, or how big we'll be able to actually make the sweat jacket. So let's get into this and see what we got. Okay, so I have the blanket folded in half already, so there's double this, but even then that's still not a lot. So I'm going to take this sweatshirt, need to cut where we need to, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to flip it inside out so that we can kind of get an idea of the different pattern pieces that I'm going to need to cut out of the blanket based off of where the different pattern pieces were sewn together here on this jacket. So I'm just going to start off down in the corner. I'm thinking that I want the jacket, the bottom of it, to just be like this fray as the edge of the blanket, because I think that's kind of fun, unique. So we're gonna see if we can't do that. But here, I'm just gonna line up the body of the jacket, because this is gonna be the biggest area of material. And since it's folded in half, I can count that for the front and the back, because from what it looks to me, the front and the back are about the same pattern. So we're just gonna line this up. I've actually never made something like this before, so this is gonna be really interesting to see how it turns out. Either way, it'll be a learning process, and it'll be fun to look back on this and as I get better and as I sew more things kind of like this. We've got a sleeping baby, so hopefully we're good for a few hours before he wakes up. I'll leave some seam allowance. Not much, because we don't have a lot of extra fabric here to work with, so. This is not working, so we're just gonna use pins. Hopefully we'll be able to use this extra fabric here on the side for one of the sleeves, but maybe we won't have enough. We'll see. We'll make something work. Okay, so I'm going to try to outline where I have it pinned off, but I have the sleeves and the body of the sweat jacket pinned off, and so I'm just going to go along the pins and just cut those out. Well, I cut it, so there's no going back now. I guess we're stuck with what we got. There's one sleeve, and there's gonna be a little cuff added on to the end here, so don't worry, it's why it looks short. There's gonna be a little extra cuff on the end there, so hopefully that makes it long enough. Okay, I laid those sleeves underneath the body, and it's not looking too bad. It's looking like it's gonna be the right shape, but I guess we'll find out as we go further. But I don't know, I think I like it. So for the pocket, that's gonna go right here, and for the hood, I think I'm gonna do those in a different material, just because one, we don't have a lot of that material left, and two, I just think that would look kind of cool to have contrasting material on there and just kind of break up the pattern that is the blanket. So I guess we'll see how that turns out, and I'll show you the different options that we have for those materials. Let's go. Okay, so this is how the body's fitting so far. Quite large. Like I said, I'm making it oversized. It's a size large men's. So my husband wanted to see if he'd be able to fit into it, but it might be too girl for him. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I like to just wear big. I like when hoodies cover my bum. Makes me feel better. I'm walking around town. It's pretty big, but I think in the end it's gonna be cuter than what it's looking now. Right now it kind of looks like a poncho, but it's not. So I got the sleeves. It's just such a thick material that the sleeves are kind of, it's like not uncomfortable by my arms, but also not super comfortable. But I don't know. Guess we'll see. It's not horrible. But either way, I'm not going to leave the ends like this. I want the ends to be neat, so probably going to put cuffs on the ends of the sleeves anyways, and those will tighten and make these sleeves a little bit tighter and longer. So guess we'll see. I'm going to sew these on now, so. Taking a little break because my baby woke up and he's now eating a little bit. Just had to say, lately I've had this serious obsession with Nutella toast, and I know that's so bad for me, but there's something about it that's just so good. I mean, at least my toast is pretty good. It's like 21 grain toast or something like that. It's supposed to be pretty healthy, but then I lather it in butter and then I put a little layer of Nutella on there, and it just hits different. Huh, bud? He doesn't know. He doesn't get to eat any. He eats healthy. I try to eat healthy. I do my best, really, but Nutella toast lately, I don't know what it is. Okay, to sew on the sleeve, first we're gonna have the body inside out. We're gonna have the sleeve also inside out. And we're gonna take it, this is the wrist cuff, so this is going from short to the long way. This is where it's gonna sew onto the jacket here. So in order to do this, we're gonna just open up this little armhole. We're gonna tuck that on in, tuck it right in bed, bring it all the way through, just like that, until it's laying flat on the inside. And then we're gonna line it up just right up here to the edge of where we're gonna wanna sew it. Okay, right up to the edge. Once we're here, you can open it up a little bit and just pin this together and pin this together, and you're just gonna sew all the way around, and I'll show you what that looks like once I do that. You guys don't listen to anything I say. I was wrong. You don't want the sleeve to be inside out. You want the sleeve to be normal, like how it's gonna look when you're wearing it. You don't want it inside out, because once you tuck it in, you're still gonna do the same thing. You're still gonna tuck it in. The body's inside out, the sleeve is not inside out. But don't put it inside out. Put it normal, the sleeve. Okay, so I have now sewn around this edge here, sewn all the way around for that, and I'm gonna pull the sleeve through like this, and boom, just like that. See, now the sleeve is inside out, just like the top is inside out, and you have the seam for that on the inside of the jacket instead of on the outside of the jacket where you don't want it. So if you would have followed my first instruction and had the sleeve inside out as well as this inside out, when you sew them together, that would have been no bueno. The seam would have been on the wrong side of the jacket. So that was a close one. We almost made a mistake, but we did not. So let's see how let's put on the other sleeve and see how it looks. Okay, so I had a choice between a few different fabrics to do the pocket and the hood and everything, but I just went with this brown, really nice, just plain material. I felt like it went pretty well with this blue. I just made this pocket. I cut it out into the shape that I wanted, and I did it double so that it's a thicker pocket and not too thin, because it's kind of a thinner material. And now I'm just gonna sew all of this and then leave a tiny opening so that I can flip the pocket inside out, so that when I sew it onto the jacket here like this, these are gonna be the little hand holes where your hands are gonna go in, and there won't be any open seams. It'll just be sewn inside out. But let me show you how to do that. Okay, now I'm gonna iron this out, but first I'm just gonna show you what I did. I sewed the two pieces together just right along the edge, And I just left, let's see, I just left a tiny opening like this so that I could flip it inside, back right side out like how I have it now. And then once I sew it onto the sweatshirt, that will be resolved because I'm gonna have to sew along here, here, and here, and then also along here to put it onto the jacket. So that's how I did this little pocket. And the hands are gonna go in here. Hopefully I made that wide enough for the hands to go in there. I might have to make it like that, but we'll see. I'm just gonna iron it down now. Nice and ironed, and time to put it on the jacket. Okay, here's what we have so far. Got the pocket. I think the pocket looks really good with the contrasting color. I just need to finish off these sleeves, and I need to put on the hood. And I'm gonna do a lining on the sleeves. I'm not gonna have this stuff on the end of it. It's gonna be tight around the wrist, so. But I think this looks really cool. I'm still trying to decide if I wanna actually sew up the bottom so that it doesn't have that fraying like that, so it looks a little more clean. But I have not decided yet. That's probably something I'll decide very last once everything's done, just so I can see the difference. And that would be super easy to just sew up or add a little lining on the bottom. So now we just need to work on the ends of the sleeves and the hood. So let's do that, yay! Right now I'm just making like a little tube thingy that I'm thinking I'm gonna line the neck with so that the raw edge isn't just coming apart and fraying. It's gonna look nice with the contrasting color that matches the pocket and the hood. And I'm just thinking that will help to make it look more professional maybe, even though it's not professional. Right now I'm just flipping this inside out. I'm just trying to think of how I'm gonna do the hood. I might go back to the jacket that I was using in the beginning as a reference and just kind of see how that hood is shaped. And it's all about testing it out, and if it doesn't work, just try something else and start over, and that's okay. Because honestly, so far, this has been going super fast. I've been able to basically do all of this just during my son's nap. And he's taking his second nap now, which is going to be shorter, and so we're going to see how much we can get done before he wakes up again. And I think we're doing pretty good so far. I've probably only worked on this for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. And I already have the majority of it done. I just have to finish the small things, so we will see what's next. I've got pins sticking out everywhere, but this is kind of what I'm thinking it's going to look like. Just with like a little cuff. This is what it looks like currently, which that's a no. Okay guys, it's dark now. My baby ended up waking up and I had to help him out. But so far I got this little neckline here. I'll show you it a little closer. And nothing in the back just because it's going to have the hood there anyway. So I didn't put the lining. I just want this nice lining on the front like that. And then I have the pocket on here. And now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do with these sleeves. I think when I have the sleeves like this kind of bunched, just because it looks nicer I think than just the open fray. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so right now what I did videotape last night after my baby went to sleep, I worked on this a little longer. I had a funny incident. I accidentally made the neck, I added the lining on the neck of the jacket, and it was just too small and it wasn't stretchy, so my head wouldn't fit over it. So it was stuck around my head. Not necessarily, not stuck, but I couldn't get it over my head. So I had to cut the back of the lining off, so where the hood's gonna be, there's just not gonna be lining, which is fine, you wouldn't see it anyway. I honestly don't know why I put it on in the first place, but that's okay. So now I had my husband try it on because he wanted to also be able to wear it. And so when he got home from work last night, he tried it on, and it's even a little big for him. So I'm shrinking it just a little bit. I'm just making it a little bit smaller. I'm just not showing a lot of this because hopefully you won't have to do that. Hopefully you use a jacket that just fits you. I used one that was way big. So that would also fit my husband, and he's a lot taller than I am. So we're just shrinking it down a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is probably going to be adding the second material around the cuffs and base and hood of the jacket. So let's go. Okay, so right now I'm making the cuffs for the jacket sleeves. So I just made this little oval of fabric, and I sewed down all the raw edges just to make sure that nothing was going to be fraying. And then now I'm just going to fold it in half as such. Fold it in so that the raw seams are on the inside and line up the edges like this. And then I'm gonna tuck the raw edges of the sleeve right in between, and then I'm gonna sew it on. So let's see how this goes. Okay, got one sleeve on, one cuff. So that's good. I think it turned out cute. I'm gonna sew right on the edge too, so there's no little like flap. I just want it flat down, and that'll look nice and it fits good. It's not too small for my hand to fit through. If you have a more stretchy fabric, you can make this part a little tighter, like a normal sweat jacket. But this fabric's not super stretchy, it's pretty thick. So I decided to make it a little bit bigger, that way my hand can fit through, and my husband's. So now let's do the other one. My hair's just gonna keep getting messier every time I try this thing on because it's just on and off, and we're just not gonna worry about that. But I finished the second cuff. So it fits nice and big, but comfy. So I like how it looks, I like how it turned out, and made the sleeves just a little bit longer, added the length that I needed to make it long enough for my husband. He's 6'1", so, and I'm 5'5". So big height difference, but this fits him now as well, hopefully. So I'm just taking a little snack break. I'm eating some apples and organic peanut butter, which is yummy. Yummy. Okay, so now we're gonna cuff the bottom. We're gonna put the same fabric on the bottom. I barely have enough to do this, so we're gonna do kind of like the same thing that we just did on the sleeves, but we're gonna do it to the bottom of the jacket. So I'm gonna start doing that, and then I'll show you guys how that comes out. Huge, but I added the bottom, so that's looking really nice. It's definitely gonna be long enough for my husband now, for sure. But I'm liking how it's coming out. It's real cute, very large, but I could throw this sweatshirt on with some leggings, and I think that'd be really cute in the winter. Right now it's 100 degrees outside, so not the time, but now all we have to do is add the hood and finish off the little things. So I actually saved the hood for last because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. So I'm going to sit and think for a minute and try to figure out how I'm going to do that. And my baby just woke up, so I'm actually going to take care of him first. Then figure out the hood, and then we'll be done. And we'll do a final reveal. I'll wear it, and then I'll also have my husband wear it, so you can kind of see what it looks like to be like the right size on somebody. So let's go. Wow. I have quite a mess to clean up. Okay, we got a lot going on here, but I'm just making the hood now. So for two of the pieces, this is gonna be on the inside of the hood. I'm just adding a knit material just to make the hood a little thicker, just because this material I'm using for the outside of the hood is pretty thin. And if you're actually using this jacket in cold weather, it's not gonna be very helpful. So I'm just adding a little lining on the inside to make it just a little thicker and a little warmer to wear in the winter. But this fabric will not be seen through or seen at all, really. It'll just be, it's just a random fabric I picked to help line the hood. So let's sew it together. This is what we've resulted to, because my little buddy's teething and he just wants to be held 24/7 and he won't let me get anything done. So it's just about his bedtime, and we still need to finish the hood. He does have a diaper on, he's not completely naked, it's just really hot here, so, and he's very sweaty. So he doesn't have any clothes on right now. He just got out of the bath. But we're just gonna clean up a little bit right now, and then I'm gonna put him down, go to bed, and then we're gonna finish the jacket and put the hood on, and I will do a final reveal of what that looks like. So let's go. I just have to add, if I look like somebody who's had a long day, it's because I am somebody who's had a long day. So it's okay though. We're surviving. We're alive. We're happy, we're joyful, we're ready for bed. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. Smile. Okay, here we go. This is how the jacket turned out. I'll show you the hood. Here's what it looks like from the front. It's just like goes up the sides, back. Turned out super cute. I tightened the cuffs a little bit so that I didn't slide over my hands. So they're just small enough to be able to fit my hands through but not have to like squeeze my hands through. Got the pockets. And I'll show you the hood. And here it is with the hood. Super nice. I think it turned out super cute and super comfy, and it's going to be perfect for winter. And yeah, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. I'm going to be doing sewing videos and probably some art videos in the near future. I'm excited to see where it goes. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and have a wonderful day. Bye.